Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, on behalf of your Denver-based podcast crew, we appreciate you joining us for the Friendly Vibes.
Coming to you live from TSS Hilltop, I am joined by someone who just helped me make some studio additions, so if it sounds better, he's to thank. I'm also joined by our production extraordinaire, Riley, who hasn't been here in a fat minute, so let me just acknowledge him. Thank you for being here, Riley. And our guest, he is a proud veteran of the United States Marine Corps.
Army.
Fuck.
I get Marines a lot. Don't worry. It's my stature. Yeah.
He carries himself like a man, first to the fight. He's a door guy at the Denver Improv. Just a gem of a human. I've only known him for about 30 minutes now, but I'd go to bat for him. Nakata.
Yeah,
here.
thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks for having me on, you guys. Yeah.
Cheers, brother.
Absolutely. Cheers. Got my little toasties.
Will you throw me one of those waters? Look at him. He's already on his production game.
Yeah. On top of it.
We've been talking about life, just catching up. Smoke a little J. Got these deafenings happening. What's going on, dude? We both worked till 1:30 in the morning last night, so I think we're both...
Yeah, but that's the life of a comic. It's not just working the club.
Life.
Right, yeah. It's not just making the club run. You know, you're networking, especially as a comic. So working at the Improv has been a blessing. So huge shout out to Mr. Mazuka, man. If it wasn't for him, like, I wouldn't have really got started in comedy because, I mean, the Improv's been around for 20 years. Comedy Works has probably been around for the exact same amount of time. So it's not now having that know-how, and I just so happened to be driving by the Improv, and then I see that they were hiring. So I went on the website, man, applied, and it's been all downhill from there. It's been a sweet ride.
So you're just a comedy fan, just happened upon a job listing? And...
Absolutely, yeah. We just happened to be in the Northfield area, and I just looked over at the Improv, and I'm like, huh. Because I always knew it was there because the PF Chang's that's there now, they used to be Toby Keith's bar and stuff, so... Yeah, man, a lot of change in that area over the last 20. So like I said, I kind of feel ashamed because I could have already been at least 20 years in the game by now, you know.
How old are you?
I'm 34. I look a lot younger. Yeah, I get 54. Like older 20s a lot by people, but it's that Asian gene, man. I'll I'll look like I'm 20 until I'm like 40, and then I'm gonna look 90.
That's what they say, right?
It's that Asian stuff.
But you're gonna stick around and look 250 until you're 150.
Exactly. That's the goal. That's the goal.
And how long have you been doing stand-up for now?
That same amount of time. Literally, like, I went in there, I went on my interview with Dan, and I can't remember what joke I cracked with him, but he's like, he laughed. I got him to laugh, and he was like, all right, was like, when are you ready for the stage? I was like, when do you want to put me on? Like, in my interview, and he hired me that day. And my first showman was Tony Roberts. And even that day, I never told a single joke. I was just, chatting with Tony. He was just talking about comedy, a real chill human being. And he told me I was funny. And I was like, that's huge, because Tony Roberts is a freaking legend, and that dude's hilarious. And I finally got to see him after 3 years come back to the Improv just a few weeks ago. And still got it, man.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I bet full circle moment for you.
Right? Oh, yeah, totally. And then just coming around on my 3-year anniversary, for March. So, yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. I've met a lot of dope people who are unseen who I still get to talk to this day. So they've been giving me nothing but, like, pointers and help and stuff like that, and getting to work with most of them at the Improv is dope too. So yeah,
and seeing pros work and being in the room for pros working is so invaluable.
It totally is. Like what I'm gaining without having to pay like a single dollar, so huge. And I mean, it's not your act, but you're learning tips and tricks that subconsciously lead you down the path of life. And as you're approaching new premises and ideas and things going on for you that are important to you, you're going to be like, I wonder if I could do something like. And remember a crowd work bit or a trick or a specific way to organize something that you saw a professional do at the Improv. No, exactly. Like I said, it's totally, it's totally crazy to see how the process works. I love all the behind the scenes stuff because, like I said, it's invaluable because you get to see how it is. And when you finally meet a comedian who hasn't let that big time stuff get to their head, and like where they're not human anymore, and they actually show you, like, and they tell you things, and then you get to network them, because then when they come back year after year after year, then you never know, and then they can put you on. Like, for instance, really dope weekend when Corey and Chad, the Smash Bros, when they come out. It's their second year coming back to the Improv. They love coming to Denver. Their first year was friggin' dope. I got to do my first 5-minute cold open for their show, which was totally nerve-wracking because...
and cold open, that's where they soak you in water and then you go on the stage?
No, cold open, for those listeners who don't know, is you are the comedian who goes on stage long before even the host goes on stage. So you're like opening up the crowd before their opener goes on. And they bring two of the best opening acts, Corey and Chad. Shout out Mark Gonzo Gonzalez, and shout out Phil Medina, because again, you meet people who are totally human, who like just give you all those nuggets of information because they know, you know, you're a comic, so they're actually helping you. They're not seeing you as like opposition or like taking away from them, man. They're human enough to like give you so many pointers because they see like you're passionate about your art. And I didn't tell a single joke that weekend they came, dude. I just hung out just like we did just before the show, dude. And again, shout out Phil Medina, man. Like he was giving me so many tips and pointers about, you know, the scene, how to work comedy, and you know how to promote myself, like all this shit, just talking, hanging out, smoking, and just. And that's it. Like, that's why I work there, for shit like that, because he just put me on, hopefully in LA when he's got opening shows, you know, later this year. So that's, like I said, it's huge. Because not only am I going to meet other comics and like get my name out there in LA, which is, he said, that's how you make it. Go to LA. New York is good, but he said LA is where you're going to make it. He said, especially if you're funny, then you'll know it. And the people I'm going to meet there is going to be invaluable for the amount of time, if, you know, how long I get to be out there and do my thing. And not only that, dude, like I also want to be like a voice actor too. Like I want to do cartoons because I've been doing voices and shit like growing up all the time. Like, so my brother,
not to cut you off. Okay,
no,
I want my question, Nakata, that I was trying to interject with, but I don't want to cut you off.
Don't worry, I'm not worried.
Where did the like origin, before Adore Staff, before all this awesomeness that the Improv's brought to your life, like brothers and sisters, what were your comedic influences as a kid?
Yeah, definitely my brother, man. We'd always used to do all these voices and fuck around a lot.
Okay. Is he older or younger?
Yeah, he's my brother's 2 years older than me.
Okay.
My brother, and he lives in New Mexico right now. He was also a vet.
Got it.
But yeah, if we would always fuck around. We would always watch the Wayans Brothers TV show. We would watch, you know, Mad TV, some things on SNL, and we would always do voices and fuck around. So my brother was kind of my influence, because there was even a time when we were growing up, it was like late at night and we couldn't even sleep. And he's like, do like a stand-up bit. And he like shined a flashlight on me in our basement. And like, I was nervous. Like, that's the first time I think I bombed.
How old are you at that point?
Oh, that point. Oh shit. I was 7 years old, 8 years old, right before my little sister was born.
Hell yeah.
Like I said, fucking around our whole lives, dude. So just being funny.
Do you remember that first joke?
No, I know I was fumbling around. I was like, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know how to do, like the pros would do, like we would watch, you know. I was like, oh, what do I say? Had no idea.
Do you remember like how old you were when you wrote your first joke, or was it then like a couple years ago at the Improv?
I mean, I would always kind of like loosely write jokes. Like I wasn't too serious about it, because like I said, I mean, I was in the Army, so I had all this other stuff go on, and then
so you never thought about like, I'm writing a joke for a stand-up?
Well, people always tell me, they're like, Nakata, you're so funny, like why don't you do stand-up? Like everyone would tell me like throughout my years in the Army, and I always like would think about it, but like I said, without having the know-how or like where to go, right, or like not doing the research yourself.
You could have just turned into a Redditor, like I could do this.
Yeah, you know, exactly. So
I'm funny, I know.
Not having the know-how, always having people say that to me. And like I said, just the opportunity, just so happened to be by the Improv in Northfield, like I usually am, because of Bass Pro Shop being over there and everything. Just never putting two and two together to try to go on and apply to like work at the Improv until just that one moment, man.
So you're a funny guy with your brother. You're a funny guy in school. And then you go into the Army.
Voted most sarcastic in 2009. So yeah, like I said, always being funny. You know, always, like I said, just trying to keep the mood up.
Did you do well in school?
No, I had to take some extra credit. I still passed on time. Like I got held back 1 year when I was little, but I found out like for Colorado, when schools ask if you want to hold your child back, it's up to the parents to decide to either move you forward or hold you back. So my dad held me back a year. So I graduated a year later than I was supposed to, because like I said, my oldest brother graduated in 2006. My sister was 2007. I was supposed to be 2008, but I graduated in 2009 because
there was a financial crisis.
Yeah, that whole thing.
What are you going to do? Come on.
But yeah, is what it is. I still, like I said, still graduated on time. Right when I graduated, like I enlisted into the military in April, and then I graduated in May, and then a week after my graduation, I left for basic.
So,
and it was 14 years.
And you had older brothers, so you kind of already knew through your high school arc, kind of you were headed that direction, maybe?
Yeah, because when 9/11 happened, that was 5th grade for me.
Yeah, never mind.
2001.
I talked to a few other people and like put myself in the shoes. Like I would have definitely hook, line, sinker, just been like, doing this.
I mean, but you know, everyone's swept up in what happened. Like it's such a huge deal back then,
for sure, dude.
And I just kind of made the decision to do, because it's like, why not? Because my father was in, my mother, you know, my uncles have been in, you know, my grandparents, my grandfathers have been in.
So you come from a service family,
pretty much, yeah. Everyone except for my aunts and a couple of my cousins haven't. join. So, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's like in a family
just
thing.
The ladies, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But except for my mother, because both of my sisters, they never wanted to join. My oldest sister thought about it for a while, but she kind of gave up on the idea.
Mostly all Army or?
Yeah, Army. My grandfather, who I'm named after, he was in the Navy during Korea. And then mostly, majority Army. Mother, father, my uncles, the rest of my grandparents and stuff like who've been in mostly Army.
Yeah, that's cool. My grandpa was 17 and enrolled to go to World War II in the Pacific. It's like fucking crazy for me to imagine. It is crazy
because everyone, I mean, it's crazy how much people wanted to join so much back then. They would do anything to get it, even if they knew they'd be rejected.
Right.
But now it's just like people don't want to join, but it's kind of smart that people don't join.
I saw a story this week pop up from, it's propaganda. Let's remember, folks, it's propaganda. Tweet from the Army about Colonel or Major Vindman. He's the iconic meme Army guy with the glasses and the big smile. And it was about his backstory, little propaganda lore, if you will. And he enrolled in Vietnam when he was like 17, and there's a picture of him in the corner, his little glasses, there's this little spindly little kid, and it's like, fuck, dude, that was so many Americans, and a lot of them died. And they provided the freedom for now our government to spy on Americans.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. I can't even imagine how, if we get into another thing and more people have to serve, the arc that we'll feel down the line of, just those World War II vets when they feel robbed by their country after they've served and given everything, and they're just old and they got nothing. They're like, what the hell are we doing? That makes me sad.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a different timing for all of them, and they should have been treated better. But I mean, it's a little bit better now for a lot of veterans and how they deal with it because of how terrible it was then. But think of where we were at that point in time and the resources and stuff we had. So it wasn't going to be great, but they could have at least done something more. I agree.
Well, I think more of I guess I'm doing a bad job of getting my point across.
No, you're all right.
I think the way that the government, Vietnam has so many problems and so complex.
There's a lot, yeah.
But beyond that, the people that served in those that war and the wars around on the front and back of that came back, the propaganda of how the American people perceived those servicemen and women, I think was really fucked up, that our government both used people on the front end, abused them on the front end, and then brought them back and used and abused them as propaganda government, tools to pass things or whatever. That's evil, man.
In a way. But if you think about it, though, in the grand scheme, that's kind of how it always been. It just changes with the time. So it's just a little bit of different fashion the way they do it now.
That's a good pushback. That's a fair pushback.
I'll give you an example because when I was right before I got out, COVID happened, right? So it was this whole thing. The Army was pushing everyone to get it. Otherwise, they were going to kick you out for refusing.
So you got kicked out?
No. Because if you weren't allergic or if you didn't have a religious preference, you had to get the COVID shot no matter what. And even if you didn't get it, you wouldn't be able to deploy. So it would hold you from going and deploying and doing stuff, right? Because you weren't medically cleared. That's how they put it to you. If you're not medically ready to go, which means you're not up on your shots, you're not going to go. Plain and simple. So like I said, it changes.
And they decide stuff sometimes drugs that they want to use on the service members throughout history have been totally okay. And then they'll just decide that those drugs aren't okay anymore and those people are going to be in prison now. Or, it's rob them of their lives and their service careers and everything.
Because remember, the military is just a function of government entities. So we had to follow what, everyone up here in government is already deciding and doing because it's a federal law. So we're law-abiding, employees of the government. So you got to follow federal law to the T without any strife. And it's funny because when I was going through my thing, I was trying to get my religious preference to not get the shot because I didn't want to take it. I barely like taking my flu shot.
Buddhist, clearly, right?
Because of how crazy all of it was and all the stuff you were hearing about how the COVID vaccines were going. So I didn't want to do it.
Buddhist, just my gut. Buddhist exemption?
Yeah, because I'm Japanese.
No, I just meant you look at you on the street walking out, you're like, this guy's a Buddhist.
Yeah, obviously. No, usually people think I'm a cop on the street, but
for a probably Christian faith exemption.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
So when I'm talking to some of my NCOs who I've known from my whole career so far, one of my NCOs specifically, I won't name him, but he's like, "Well, have you read the email about the COVID vaccine and how safe it is?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, Sarge." I was like, "I read that propaganda," and he shot me this look. He goes, "All right, you fucking libertarian." He's like, "Keep that shit down in this office." But I still got him to kind of laugh. But he shot me that look, that serious look, I can't believe you just said that. Because he was talking about, that's propaganda. Because I was talking about something earlier. He's like, "Oh, that's just propaganda." And then he tells me about the COVID vaccine email and watching the video. I was like, "Yeah, I saw it." I was like, "I saw the propaganda, Sarge." I was like, "Yeah, I saw it."
Yeah, it's recognizing the propaganda on both sides, man. That's tough,
yeah, it's wild.
but it's a good skill.
Everybody has it. Yeah, everyone's got it.
Yeah,
look how crazy it was in World War II.
Here's a great example. Right now, the Epstein thing, right?
Ooh.
5 months, a year ago, Democrats, the left, populists, you talk to people in Boulder, oh, Epstein, dude, what are you talking, And now now that it's on Trump's plate, they're like, Epstein.
Yeah.
It's like all political crap. So
Trump's not going to do anything about it either. He talks about it to get the votes, but he's on that list too, man. He was on that flight log plan when they released it. I can't remember when they released it, like, I think 21 or 22, they released it, and then they took it off the internet, and then they re-released it. So yeah, dude, everyone's on it. Everyone you could think of who's your favorite celebrity, they're probably on that list.
Crazy, dude.
You know what I mean? Like, it's wild.
But we're never going to know.
See, and that's the thing. That's the problem. We're giving government too much control of that because it should be reversed. Like, they're working for us. Like, that's how the functioning government body is supposed to work. But like I said, over the years, it just gets corrupt. The wrong people get involved, and we just let it happen. We just lay over.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to deal. We're dealing with everything else that we have to happen in life. And why do we got to deal with all that too?
Not to go deep cut philosopher on you, but Plato's The Republic. There's a thing that suggests that those who do not have the strength to govern will be governed by those that are weaker and dumber than them.
Yeah, and when you have control of the education because you're giving federal funding to schools and you decide what's being taught, you can dumb down your citizens without them realizing it.
What are you, the Rothschilds? You're trying to make factory workers here? Come on.
Yeah, hey, that is true. The Rothschilds created the foundation in 1913. The whole thing, it's all relative. People think it's a conspiracy theory, but they just got to read up on shit.
Yeah, this is like literally like in black and white. I remember Grayson Schrum was on.
For just porn and
stuff.
He
was like, what are you No. I'm like, yes, dude. And I kept like going, like, these are just like things that happened in the world.
Yeah, this is history. Like, just read history. That's all you got to do, and just follow how history goes, and things will just start to make more sense. That's it.
And like you said, they repeat. And the patterns repeat, and the mistakes repeat, and the warning signs are given to us 100 times, and we fucking make the 101st mistake.
Yeah, you guys remember in 2016 when it was the Trump and Hillary debate, and they were talking about what was going on? Because
you'd be in jail.
Yeah, she's not.
Dude, hang on. Do I remember? Let me paint you a picture really quick, Nakata. I am a freshman in college at a small liberal arts school in the middle of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, in the heat of the 26th election, and I'm sitting. For that debate, I'm in like a public viewing area.
Oh yeah.
And he goes with that line, because you'd be in jail, and I full Sean cackle and had to walk out of the wherever we're watching it because like all the students in there were just boom.
Oh, I bet they were. People were.
I was a dickhead too. I'm like an 18-year-old kid. You know, the night of the election, we're sitting in the Commons freshman dorm watching the votes come in, states rolling for Trump, and these two girls are like, oh my god, I can't believe this. How is this happening to our country? And I'm a fucking ignorant, dumbass little asshole kid, Sean. So I call my Uncle Bill and I'm like, can you believe we called this, man? We saw this coming a mile away.
Yeah. It's like I said, if you just look, Trump was a long time registered Democrat voter. You can see them taking pictures with Bill and Hillary like throughout the 90s. I guarantee you Trump has lobbied for Bill Clinton during his presidency and his election. I'm sure there's records. I'm sure he has. He's probably lobbied for a lot of Democrats. Like, people need to wake up. Like, they were probably having phone conversations about how scripted this fucking debate was going to go. And another funny thing, when Obama was talking about, oh, we're releasing all these, detainees out of GITMO and blah, 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 blah. Do they fudge the numbers?
Because you were working.
I was there.
So can we sidestep to that?
Yeah, I can't. I still can't talk too deep because it's still operations that are happening, stuff like that. Sure. But I can still give you a lot of information. Like the numbers that Obama was giving on the news, lies. Okay. That wasn't true. We weren't releasing as many he was saying. We were still releasing, guys. There's no doubt about that. It wasn't as many as he said we were doing. At least not in the camp I was working. I can tell you that. A good faith argument to the public that these people were being let out.
Yeah. To remind me, that was the argument, right, to the American public?
Because they've wanted to close GITMO from its inception, and when Bush made those two other camps and closed Camp X-Ray and this whole thing, so it's wild, dude. It's wild. We would have media tours there a whole lot, so we called it the when the media tours going, like, oh, they're coming to visit the zoo and all the monkeys inside.
I'm doing a terrible job.
Those guys had such good treatment, dude. It might have been different back when it first opened, but it's definitely a lot different now. They get treated so well. Every single one of those guys has a lawyer.
Whoa.
Like, they're a regular prisoner here. Like, they get treated better than what they say, dude. They just try to make it. So
they're not standing on boxes with electrical things.
No, dude. It's a fully furnished, toileted, running water, everything. They have shower. All their needs is just, Afghanis are kind of like dirty people because if they don't understand like what the ingredient is, or like Iraqis, if they don't know what an ingredient is in something, they won't use it. Because if they're like a truly religious person in their Muslim faith, like they feel it's unholy, they feel it's taking away from them getting close to Allah and stuff, or however it's written in the Quran. So yeah, dude, it's a whole thing. So they can be very ripe, all those people, and they just douse themselves in cologne and think they're being clean, but really it's just like BO and like this really fucking terrible cologne. It's just like, oh, you stinky little bastard. Yes. Oh, and they're always wet, dude. It's crazy. It was a wild time. What a great experience.
Okay, I'm doing a terrible job building a narrative arc here, but so you deploy after high school to Afghanistan?
Not after. So I just joined after high school.
Okay.
And then 2 years after I'm already in is when we deployed. So I had joined in 2009. 2011 is when we went over there, and we're there for almost a year. We were there for like 10 months, 11 months.
Where specifically in Afghanistan?
Afghanistan is a place called Bagram Air Base.
Okay.
It's actually where the war started. Everyone thinks Iraq was where we hit boots on ground first in Bagram. It was just televised more. We actually, where I was, we ended up, was where troops ended up
That's
first.
That's where the special forces first came into that airbase, right?
Exactly.
For Osama, right?
Yeah, and they changed all that area from when they first opened, because we were there in Afghanistan first, and then we were in Iraq with Bagram, and then being in Kuwait and everything. So we were boots on ground there first, and then from that main camp where you can pull in with the flights and everything, you travel, I can't remember how far down, to where our camp is, to where we're housing. We have the facility for housing.
Gotcha. Wow. Okay. So you spend a year over there.
Yep.
Hell?
Not too bad.
Okay.
Most days are hell because, when the detainees are bored or something's going on that they don't like and riots happening, like it's kind of hectic. Not only that, like, having to run our PT there, like we got shot at a few times because right outside where we have like our big concrete barriers is Afghanistan, and it's only separated by this chain link fence that's like a sensory fence. So if it gets messed with, like we deploy people because they think they're cutting through the line to come into the camp to rescue everyone who's in the facility. So you got that going on. So you got all that heat on you. So at any time anyone could just come and do whatever.
Wow.
But like I said, it's not always not too bad.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, you make the most out of it. You do things to occupy your time. Like we did a bunch of silly shit. Like for Halloween, we all dressed up in our costumes, and the Navy was deployed there with us. It's like a whole different, a lot of different forces are there. Like a lot of different military branches are there on that main base, and where we are working on camp. And the Navy in their offices, like they have these 2 office buildings there where they do all their operations, and they built this boat, like this deck in this like boat around to where their area was, and we asked them if we can use it to do I'm on a boat, just as a little funny fucking video on YouTube.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'll show you guys.
Can we find that? Can you pull it up?
Yeah, I'll show you guys. Look on YouTube. It's a 308th I'm on a boat. It was during Halloween, dude. We were watching scary movies. Well, like once we were out for work, it was like late at night, just fucking around, just trying to like I said, do just pass time.
308.
Yeah, 300. Yeah, do the 308th. Yeah, 308. Yeah, 308th. Yeah. And it'll be, that one right there, the first one. This is
yet another Bored in Afghanistan production brought to you by the number 4, the letters U and A.
Yeah, this little thing. This is a funny little group that we had overseas. This kind of like bonding thing that we used to do. We call ourselves the 4th, and this is just a little thing that we did.
Together, a band of zombie pirates. The one girl from The Grudge, a Zap trader and captain.
A Jap tainer. So they're called detainees because we detain them. We don't necessarily arrest them. So we call them tainers. And I'm the Jap tainer.
You're Japanese. The Jap tainer.
Yeah, okay. Japanese detainee.
Wow, can we name the episode Jap tainer?
If you want to, yeah. You might get a lot of hate.
That's fine. I went hard yar when I had...
Yeah, Jojo. Yeah, it was a good episode. I watched that one on Dan, too. So I'm in the, I got the little like fez looking thing and the scarf around the neck. And this is me at 21. I turned 21 in Afghanistan. And you know what's funny? My brother, I was already in Afghanistan. My brother I got to see my brother before I left. And we were emailing each other back and forth. And he's like, hey, I'm going to be out in Afghanistan. He's like, I'm going to be near you.
Just mute that really quick. You keep playing it, but I just mute it. So.
And he said, I'm going to be out there. He's like, and I know you're going to turn 21. He's like, so I'm going to send you a gift. I think this guy's going to send me some booze because he's been deployed once before he went to Afghanistan. So I'm like, he knows how to get through the loops. But it was crazy because just before he sent me my gift, my people in my office, they were like, we're going to start checking everyone's packages as they come in because there's rumors that people are getting stuff that they shouldn't be getting through the packages. So we have to have everyone open up because the battalion or the brigade is saying we got to do this because everyone's doing it. And I was like, fuck. I was like, when it comes to when I get my gift from my brother, I was like, I hope there's nothing in there that's going to get me in trouble, because I really don't feel like getting in trouble for this. But I was just getting off work when they told me I had a package. So I'm getting off work and I go to where our office buildings are that are just behind all this. And the HR girl that's working, she goes, hurry, Nakata, sign for your package and take it before, someone else comes back so they make you check it. I'm like, fuck yeah. I was like, love you, Tiffany. And I took my box and I go to my room and I'm excited. I'm like, it's a pretty sizable box. I'm like, there's going to be a lot of stuff in here.
That's a sick boat they built, by the way.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, the parts where it has like the walking deck and everything, that's all the Navy. And then they built that boat right there kind of in the middle. And you can still walk in between both of where the little parts were.
That's cool.
Yeah, dude. That building right there, no, that's cool. That building right there is a gym. On the front of like the boat is where all of our dining facility and stuff is, which is pretty cool. And then beyond that, it's where the camps are. So we're filming this way, and there's nothing behind us because you can't shoot where we have all that shit, but you can shoot all this. Yeah, dude, it was fun as fuck.
That's hilarious, dude. I'm surprised they let you keep this up.
I know, right?
On YouTube? Honestly, I don't know why. I don't know why I should think that they wouldn't, but like I don't know. It just surprises me that this hasn't.
I just don't think it has very many views.
Yeah. You think if it blew up, they would eventually.
See, and I'm all covered up in the back.
Look at you. Are these civilians that are on?
No, this is all military people, man. This is just us on Halloween.
And you're covered up. Why? Why is your face the only one?
Because I'm supposed to be a detainee, and when you're outside of the facility, they put these blacked out goggles on you.
Okay, I see.
So you can't see anything, and then they put these noise canceling headphones on you, so you can't hear where you are.
That's hilarious.
So that's why I'm all wrapped up like that.
Okay. All right, because you're the Jap detainee.
Yeah, the Jap detainee. See, there's credits. And other shots.
And you guys made that on what, like iMovie over there?
Yeah, I think so. One of our friends that we don't talk to anymore, like he made all the video and everything put on YouTube. That's wonderful, dude. Legendary. Yeah, so I get to my house and I'm excited. Well, we call it a house. It's not a house. It's a modified shipping container that turned into a room. But I sit there with my box and I'm excited. I'm like, fuck yeah, I've been waiting for this. I open it up and no bullshit. What's inside the box? A 12-inch black dildo with a set of balls that's fucking like almost as thick as my forearm. It has a suction cup to it. There's lubricant, desensitizing gel for your ass, and a gay porno in there. Wow. And I'm like, this motherfucker, dude. So I hop on Skype and I'm like, good, this son of a bitch. I was like, what in the fuck did you just send me? And he goes, oh yeah, happy birthday, homo. He's like, I totally forgot that I got that for you before I got out here. I was like, why are you calling me the homo? That's on your search list. That's on your card history. You're calling me gay. That's so funny, dude. But that thing got passed around so much. You're like, it like so many people. There's so many pictures that are in existence of it on their faces while they're sleeping. There's this chick who. She got around a lot over there. Like every week, someone else was like following her around the camp, like because she was a pretty good looking girl, but it's wild. So like what her roommate ended up doing was she stuck it to her mirror and she drew an outline of this dude that she used to hang out with who got sent home because he got injured, and she goes, "Oh look, this guy came back and blah blah," and she stuck the black dick on her mirror. Oh yeah, wild. No booze. You got a bunch of people with no booze. Like some wild shit's gonna happen regardless. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Good times. That's crazy. Oh yeah. And then so you serve a year over there. Mm-hmm. Then what? What's after that? You come back? Yep. After that, I come back. Just work regular job because I was in the reserves all 14 years. Okay. So yeah, just come back, find work, and everything like that, And then what about GITMO? When did that come? That was in 2016. Okay. So yeah, that was 4 years after. Wow. So yeah, come back, do some training and stuff, with my unit and blah, blah, blah. More people come in, a lot of people leave. And then go to GITMO and do that whole thing. And that was 9 months, but that was funner because... when you got like the news you're getting deployed to GITMO, what was that like? I was excited because it's like, you hear about everything that happened, and the entire time I was in my military police school to like do all my training, all you heard about was like Abu Ghraib, like when people would get those naked people would get stacked up over there. And like you hear about GITMO. You know, you hear the stories about GITMO, like, oh, you're an MP, like. So
that's what made me a feminist, by the way.
Oh,
Abu
really?
Ghraib.
Fair enough.
Ladies can do anything, dude.
Right? Yeah. If you identify as lesbian, I think it increases your odds, right? Get laid.
That's so funny. Wow.
But yeah, like I said, you hear all the rumors and stuff, and like with that huge cloud that hangs over, you know, with everything that happens. Yeah. And everyone thinks that, you know, you're treating these guys terrible, and it's like this whole crazy Wild West situation. And then you're in it and you see it, and it's just like what they're reporting on the news isn't even true. Like, even when I came back from Afghanistan, like one of my friends who's a lawyer now, he was a political science major at the time. And he's trying to tell me about how it is over there because he watches the news. And so I was like, no, man. I was like, you're wrong. I was like, I was just over there. I was like, I know it sounds like I'm trying to be contrarian, try to like cover up. I was like, trust me, dude. I was like, I'm not going to lie to you. My friend, I love you. I was like, but you got to stop talking about this. I said, I'm going to knock you out. I was like, I love you, but I'm going to fucking hit you because you sound so stupid right now. I was like, you should stop talking with your degree. I was like, and wake the fuck up.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, at least you're challenging him, and maybe he'll give it some thought.
Yeah,
that's all you can.
And that's all it is. That's all I try to do with really anybody, because even people in the military, like Nakata, like how do you know all this shit? I'm like, because I read, fuckers. I read. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how you get to know shit. You got to read shit.
The world, you watch and you listen and you learn and you try to fucking soak in as much as you can, and then you have maybe, I don't know, 0.1% of knowledge of what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, I mean, it is impossible to know everything, but you know, we have little computers literally in our hands now.
It's never been easier to be knowledgeable about what the fuck's going on, dude.
See, that's the thing. But that's the thing with like people who are like in my generation, because we still grew up with no technology. We were still playing outside when we were little kids. Like, we didn't get computers and shit until we were almost teenagers. Like, I wasn't texting on a phone until like high school, right? And that's already when phones were well established, but they were still kind of low tech-ish compared to now.
The steps from you to us to people that like our sisters,
and Chat GPT and shit, dude. Yeah, it's wild.
2 years younger than our sisters, like 4 years younger than us. Like the people are different. It's like a whole different people
in a way.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
In a way that's very scary, I think. In a way where they can like get quickly abused by propaganda way easier, I think.
Exactly, because there's so much rhetoric. Everything's so flooded. The engine of information is so flooded because you could easily find something that supports your argument that's wrong against something that's completely the truth.
Well, and then you from an early age are taught to that, you know, your ego is tied to this online thing, that the internet is the reality.
Yeah, the fact that people have to think that, it's wild.
Yeah, well, they come up, you know, there's a different thing to your generation, our generation, even where it's like, this internet's this other thing. I have my life, and then there's this internet thing. It's just part of life to them. And so because of that, they like don't separate their ego from their online presence, and they get really tied up in their perception of themselves and their ego through their online presence and whatnot, and that becomes really troublesome.
Yep. And we were just talking about this, people not being able to think for themselves because of how they get pigeonholed in school, and what that one individual like professor or teacher is like pushing on kids because that's how they feel and this is how they feel it should be, and it may not be the right thing. That's why it's so dangerous.
Folks, that's the lawn care team you hear outside. We're going to take a pause. We're going to eat our wings. If you want to join us. Oh no, the camera cut. Did the camera stop recording? I don't know what happened. It cut out. I don't know when that happened. I hope it was recent. Pray, Lord, we didn't miss too much time. Just press it on the top. I'll get this for just pop that. Boom. Like I said, we're going to kick it a break. Signature station identification. Patreon.com/intolerable. If you want to be there. You listen to radio before in your life?
Oh, yeah.
AM and the FMs. This is our signature station identification. You're listening to 91.1. Oh, shit. Was that another plane? We'll be right back. We're back. We're live. It's the After Hours Show. And our bellies are full of chicken. Time for a wing review.
Yes, wing review.
The moment we've all been waiting for.
Exactly. Definitely. A solid 9 out of 10 wing. It is good. The dry rub was good. I didn't think they were dry. They were good. Definitely enjoyable wings. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. So good to hang out, break bread, talk comedy. We got plans for the future. Trying to figure out maybe doing a show.
Yeah.
GMO or at DMVR. Who knows, folks? Stay tuned. By the time this comes out, maybe the idea will be all the way to fruition. Who knows?
That would be a beautiful thing.
That would be.
More comedies happening in more places because too much of our comedy is like closing down and shutting down. This last year, I mean, I haven't been on scene. Like when a lot of people see me, they think I'm a brand new comic, which is funny when I make my way back on scene because I've been off for like a whole year. Like I've only popped on like every so often just because how busy I am at home with kids. But yeah.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids.
Oh my gosh, we haven't even talked about this part of your life. Let's talk about this.
Let's do it. 12-year-old.
Wow.
About a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you married then?
Yes.
And how did you find your wife? How did you meet your wife?
We actually met in school. Like we have a lot of mutual friends. We went to the same schools together from middle school to high school and graduated the same place. So yeah, I should have graduated with her in 2008, right? Technically, talking about earlier, bringing it back from that conversation. But yeah, so met in high school. We knew each other.
Did you date in high school? Were you high school?
No. She was dating someone else through high school, and then we didn't really get to meet back up until after Afghanistan. Actually,
Whoa.
Yeah. No, it was after Cuba. Sorry, it's after Cuba is when we kind of started talking. Like, because I was already over there and we were talking about stuff, and then we just kind of started hanging out after then. And then we had like an on and off relationship from like I think 2018. I want to say till just a few years ago. Then we got back together. After my son was born. So yeah, since 2022, we got together, and then we actually just got married last year in November.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're about to coming up on our anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yeah, man, it's been good. It's been a fun ride. It's work. If you don't already know, I mean, how long have you been with your girl?
Several years now.
There you go.
3 years now.
So yeah, I mean, being married is really not going to be anything changing because if you guys already got a solid relationship, 7 years, so yeah, you guys you got it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I keep fucking making it harder on her, but yeah, no, definitely.
No, man, it's just work.
Yeah,
it may seem like it's hard, but you guys are working through new things because you've already been together for so long. You guys are going to still go through a lot of stuff, man. It's like life.
Yeah.
You're always going to work. There's never going to be a time you don't work, right?
Yeah,
You're always going to be doing something because if you're not doing anything, you're probably going to feel useless, right?
Yeah, totally.
That's how I feel. But yeah, man, like it's always going to be work. There's always going to be something. But like I said, if you come back to the moments like, and the reason why you guys got together, you're in it for the right intentions, which you obviously are, because you've already been together 7 years. You got it, man.
Yeah.
Figure it out. And I'm divorced. I was married to my high school sweetheart, and that's how I had my 3-year-old son.
So that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
I come from a complicated family as well, so
yeah, dude,
trying to figure out the pieces.
Yeah, I'll show you pictures of my family, man. You see, we look like fucking milkman's kids because of how mixed I am, and my kids are even more mixed. Like it's crazy.
So you had a kid in high school then?
No, so my 12-year-old, he's my wife's son from her relationship.
Got it.
But he's not in the picture. He's kind of a D-bag.
No.
Yeah, but
the son or the
dad? Yeah, I'm just kidding. No, well, he's 12.
He's 12-year-old.
He's 12, so of course, I mean, he's becoming teenagers. Of course, he's a dick. He's 12 and he's a guy. But not a bad kid. Like he just needs anything like any one of us needed, man. So it's just that. But he's a good kid. And then like I said, my 3-year-old is from my marriage to my ex-wife. And then I have my daughter with my current wife.
How long were you married to your ex-wife?
We were married, because we were dating through, so like sophomore of high school, and that's 2006. And then we got married in 2010. So we were together for 5 years. And then we got married right before I went to Afghanistan. Cause I told her, I was like, my job isn't necessarily like, I'm not like in it. Like, I'm not necessarily going to see anything crazy or anything dangerous. I was like, but in the event, I was like, we should be married. I said, because the Army's not going to care if you're my girlfriend. They're going to be like, Nakata's got lots of girlfriends. What do you mean? That's my oldest brother. What I was telling you about. Yeah. That's the guy who sent me the fucking dildo.
Yeah.
This fucking guy.
That's wild.
Yeah. And then that's my oldest sister. She 07. That's her graduation picture. It's wild, right?
You do look like a complete mixture of people.
Yeah, see, and then that's my youngest sister. But this is an old photo. This is when my dad got remarried a little while ago.
That's your dad in the back
he's
there?
Divorced. No, that's other family who we were married to. But then here's a picture of like my family, like my great grandparents on that far left, and then my grandparents on the that far. Yeah, this far side. That's my great grandparents. So that's how Asian I should be. It's
big Asian vibes on the left.
All that Aryan race come through all that white. So that's why people confuse me for the cops a lot.
Yeah, dude, the Irish is really fighting up as hard as they can.
Yeah, but this is the only orange I have, man. This is so I call myself the Ginger Ninja because this is just the mask. It's the orange. Everywhere else on my body is really no orange. Like my hair's kind of dark brown. Like there's some. My wife says there's some orange and whatever. But yeah, man, it's weird.
Nice.
I don't know what race I am. My body doesn't know what color hair to put on me, so it's weird.
Well, as a man who's been in 2 marriages, do you have any advice for someone headed into that?
Yeah, like, I mean, just like I'm sure you've heard from anyone who's probably given you advice this far, you know what I mean? When you got married, yeah, always talk stuff out, like as hard as it might be. Yeah, always talk things out. Yeah, it's really never a good idea to go to bed angry, because I've done that so far, and I'm working through stuff like that even now currently in my marriage, because I got to work through all of my old stuff. But yeah, make sure you got everything taken care of, and you're making sure that anything that you're doing isn't like taking away from, right, being married to her. Like something you're doing isn't more important than what you're going to do with her, or things you're doing for her. You know what I mean? Like you're not losing that kind of focus.
For sure.
You know, you like religious law? Like you have.
I grew up Catholic, and then I kind of fought a long battle of, you know, atheism, and then like non-denominational, and found some value in like community of stuff like that through like Young Life and things.
Fair enough. You know, I'm kind of on that same track, dude. And I got turned away from the church early on age too, because my father was married to my youngest sister's mom. And then my dad got divorced from that, and that was terrible. You know, I got ostracized by an entire church, dude. So I was pushed away from religion for a long time. But later in life, like being more wise and stuff, like even the Bible says, dude, like God says stay away from religion, because it can get all muddled, right? With everyone else, what they believe is the true thing. It just says, believe in God, man. Yeah. And that's like the faith base. So
I really have kind of like come around very hard to that of like, yeah, there's value in this. Like,
it even says if you have a close personal relationship with Jesus, man, then that's how you get to heaven. There's no way to get to there and a lot of people struggle with that, you know, because of how crazy the world is. Like it's hard to believe in something that's like that when all this crazy stuff is just going on. But it's like, I mean, it's your free will. That's why we have free will, because it's our choice to do it, whether or not we want to believe it or not. And that's what it is at the end of the day.
And like, even if I'm taking like a non-religious like stab at it nowadays, I'm like in the seat of, okay, this is like a dry run of like, we're practicing this whole conscious thing, and we have a vessel for it. Mm-hmm. We just happen to have this body vessel for this conscious thing, and it's a dry run within a vessel. And then after we go on to this like, you know, expansive, connective consciousness of God's love.
See, and people, just individual people that get so wrapped up in what they think, right, and what their interpretation of it is, that they think they're doing the right thing by being so pushy and like being so forward. And, well, I have to tell you this because it's this. It's like, yes, but since you've made that person aware, like, just go away then. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to keep being so the way you are about it. Like, you're just so much. Like, it's just so much. Like, why do you got to be like that? You've made your point. Like, you're still going to believe what you believe, which is good. Just have them believe whatever they believe.
To play devil's advocate, the reason they have to is because if they don't, they'll lose out to other people going for the extreme, because other religions more or less, will. Yeah. So like if you step back and you're like, well,
I think if people would just explain themselves a little more, just tell that person, just like, yeah, I love you so much that I don't want to see you go to hell. This is why I'm being so pushy. But a lot of people, like I said, they want to reject the idea. And like I said, you just got to leave those people alone. Like, you're not there to really convert them, right? You just got to let them know. That's it. That's the job. Just let people know. Converting happens on their own, because people got to be willing to do anything. It's like losing weight, going on a diet. That whole thing is the person who wants to go through it, they got to be willing to do it. You could talk to them about it all day, like telling people to quit drugs. Go down cold facts.
To fucking kick this thing for 2 years, dude.
Yeah, it's rough. I used to smoke for a long time too, man. And then I just got lucky. I quit cold turkey because I finally got to a point where it's like, I really felt disgusting smoking cigarettes and stuff and like doing that whole thing. And now just the thought of like smoking, like when I smell it, I kind of get nauseous. I'm like, thank God, because I couldn't do it no more. Like I did it for a long time in the military, because you can't do drugs, right? You can't smoke weed. So it's either drink alcohol and smoke cigarettes and tobacco, or drink a ton of energy drinks. So that's how you get by, and booze.
You got to find a fix somehow, man.
Yeah. You know, I mean, in a way, but you don't necessarily have to, because again, if you lose focus, right, it consumes when it's consuming and it's taking away from the focus. That's where you can kind of lose it.
That's what, for me, I haven't been drinking for a while now, several months, and I'm probably going to be done for a while.
Yeah,
I might, have a beer or two, on an important special occasion or something, like maybe down the road a few years, but like I just need to. Came to a head of like, this is fucking up. You're just continuing to make compounded fuck ups that are so avoidable, and it's all connected to this thing of alcohol, and the root of that is like sin comes in. Like if you want to like step back and really be objective with yourself,
right?
Like,
Well, that's why they call it spirits.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Drinking spirits, because you're not in control, because there's all that's you're being influenced by.
And it wasn't even to an extreme degree. It's just like the decisions were like so fucking extremely bad.
But it's good that you're making this point of clarity before it gets too late. Like for me and JoJo, because I have a DWAI, which is less than a DOI, which is crazy. But I mean, I would still drink and drive like crazy before. And I don't know how I never got into any accidents or how I never got pulled over, because I would drive like an asshole and I would drink. And then I got to my moment of clarity where I think I could control it and like, do less and do less. But then I went reckless one night again and got my DWAI. And then, I've pretty much completely stopped too. Like I only have maybe a couple of drinks if I'm doing a show, toasting at weddings and stuff. But like, I won't go out and like drink anymore on the weekend or go hang out and like go drinking with people. Like I'll have a drink if I'm with like comics. Like when I was hanging out with Corey and Chad, like I had a couple of drinks, but that was it. Like I totally limit myself, and I know I don't drive anymore because I know how I am. So I definitely got to like me again. I got to take it on myself to make sure I know what I'm like. I know what my limits are. So I got to make the mature decision to like, know when I get to the point where it's
the
consuming.
Extreme accountability stuff sounds so gay, man. When you read about it, it's the gayest shit. It's like, but that's accountability. But it's what the fuck it is in the world. It's like you have to like nobody else is coming. If anyone else, if someone's coming, they're coming to make it harder.
Yeah, I mean more or less.
Like more or less, like.
And isn't it crazy like how much harder people do make it out in the world when you try to go do stuff? It's like, well, why does it have to be this hard? Well, that's just the way it's always been. Was like, well, why don't we decide to like do something about that? Not to make it like, not to where like people aren't doing anything for themselves, right? Because that's already how it is right now with phones and everything else and being food delivered to your house. But you know what I mean? We make it too hard on most people for a lot of things, and it should be hard to like get benefits or like, I know healthcare is like a big thing and stuff. Not to get into the weeds about that, but. Just stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fucking got a spinal surgery because I was going to turn 26 and I was like, I got to do this now or I might be fucked.
Yeah.
Like, get like, let's pull the trigger on, try something, try to get
anything.
better.
There's so much that's like, say again, saturated in the world, not just information, but fitness stuff, diet stuff. There's new stuff every day that people could just try. And all it takes is a couple of weeks for your body to adjust to say whether or not, hey, this is pretty cool. Let's keep trying it. Or, well, this doesn't work. Well, let's see what else is out there. What could be interesting. You know what I mean? So it's just things like that.
Yeah, dude. Anything but nothing.
Exactly. It's better. Nothing's better than because you're doing nothing and nothing sucks.
Yeah, dude. Well, I think your generation might have missed this, but like we, in our era, it was like very cool not to try.
I think we did a little bit. I think it's like I said. I don't think it's a generation thing. I think it's still happening with people because I don't think people change. I don't think things around us are changing a lot, but people don't necessarily generally change because I think there's people like that in every generation. Because if you think 21 Jump Street, like Channing Tatum, his character is like, look at this dude trying.
Yeah.
And then he punches that gay kid.
Yeah. See, that's,
you know what I mean?
That's the,
Yeah, so I think it's like in every, depending on who you are thing and like how your life is going.
The current, like, as a comedian, right, you're trying to, the goal is to be countercultural in some sense. Depends on your perspective of it. But the most countercultural thing I can do as a 28-year-old white passing male in America, cis passing, straight passing male in America, again, digging deeper, fucking, is to fucking get married and start a family. That's the most countercultural thing I can do with my life. Yeah. If I want to push against the grain, is to get married and start a family.
I know, but to get married and start a family shouldn't be for the comedy thing, but it should be because you want to do it. Well, but you have your own,
of course. But
it's like I said, it helps because if you want to be the counterculture, that's what people are going to be against.
Well, it's just interesting that the norm of what has been like a foundational bedrock for building a good life or the American dream or whatever is like now that's the counterculture.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's probably not a good thing for society as a whole. I don't know. Who knows?
It seems like the narrative is a lot of if you're not, pro LGBT, you're not a part of the community, you're not supportive. Like that's being against that community is counterculture too. Like or maybe that's how they see it.
Being against that community.
Because Denver's been popping up on a lot of how many shows that we have, which has been huge. Because, like I said, those are the shows that are turning out, man. That's where you're getting a lot of people to come in. Those drag brunches at the Improv killed, man, with attendance. everywhere else for anything else for comedy. Like you got to be like a big name for comedy for people to really come out and see you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which is a bummer because a lot of people are missing out on good local comics anyway, regardless if you're gay or not, you know, or however it may be, you're missing out because we have everybody on those local shows. And like I said, there's only so many people who come every so often because they know they're coming to see funny people. So it's sad to see.
Yeah. Attaching like an ideologic like thing label to be like meaning is really tough, whether it's, you know, a color or whatever it be, you know.
Yeah, but like I said, that's kind of like the narrative of how society pushes everything, man, because they want, it's weird that, you know, there's statistics kept about which race, you know, commits the most crimes and everything. So why does that matter? The person's a criminal. How many crimes just happen in a year? Like, who cares about who's doing what? Like, when it comes to that perspective.
The real problem, I dug into the data recently on this. The real problem is 3 times. We need to have like a 3 strikes because the most of the violent crime is done by people that have had over the 3, and it's that they just keep doing it. It's like there's a point. I don't know. I think maybe you have to step back and as a society be like, well, are we going to be okay with a certain level of violence, or are we not?
I mean, we're not. But jail and prison was supposed to be like a kind of re-education in a way. Like you go and you help those people. You're supposed to give them the therapy, and you're supposed to you're supposed to teach them other skills so that they don't want to turn and do all that stuff. You're supposed to give them like a new path,
right? Like allow them to reintegrate to society.
Exactly. That's what it was supposed to be. Now it's, you know, the way most prisons are, you know, gangs and all that violence. That's not what it's supposed to be. Like, it's supposed to be. So you think a place that's a safe place, so you can.
So if you think it's a more of a failure of the system, not of that because of the individual getting to 3. It's that on the first one, it needs to be addressed differently.
At least, you know what I mean? Because if you're not going to put that person in jail right away, but depending on how harsh their crime is, and you're giving that probation, whatever, like. I mean, I thought the classes were good. I went through probation and stuff, but like I said, I mean, each individual person is going to be different because if no one really gives a fuck about going through it, they're just going to fake it to make it, and then they're going to be done with probation and they're just back to doing whatever they're doing. So it's like, how are we going to reach that person? You know what I mean? Is that person going to open up enough to want to, you know, get to their X factor and why they got to do everything? Although I did find out that most people do go through therapy when they go through like probation and like parole. Like, therapy is like a part of like the programming. But then again, like I said, does that person really care about going to see that therapist? Is that therapist going to be a decent person to want to help that person out? You know, devil's advocate.
Yeah. The devil's advocate. Yeah, it's so hard. I think I would be like, well, at that point, we go back to the extreme personal accountability. Is like, well, this person keeps fucking up. Like, they keep doing. Like, at what point do we have to say, like, no, you don't get to be here anymore?
Yeah. Because then it comes into, well, do we have the right to exercise the death penalty?
Totally, we do. Let's have this conversation.
If they're like some
hang on.
Serial
you're
rapist,
a military
murderer.
service person.
Yes.
And you're going to try to advocate to me that we as a state don't have the right to the death penalty. I would love to have this conversation.
I never said anyone has.
It'd be fun.
It would be.
If you want to take that side.
I'm just saying, like, because I mean, think about it.
You don't see the irony there, though?
I mean, I do. Okay. I really do, because like I said, seeing what I've seen, and like I said, me personally, and I had this debate actually in one of my military classes when I was trying to become an NCO about suicide, and it's a whole thing, dude.
Like assisted suicide?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, if like I said, you're some crazy person who, like I said, you really don't want to get help, and you know, like as soon as I escape or I get out of here, I'm just going to go back and keep murdering people, doing whatever this crazy thing I'm doing is, and yeah, I think we have a right to kind of put that person out. I think it's safe, right? But like I said, it's just how do we rightly judge that's exactly what's happening, and it's not just someone trying to make it seem like this person's XYZ just so we can murder somebody. You know what I mean?
Because that has happened. We have historical evidence and examples of this happening.
Yeah, because people are imperfect and cops fuck up everything all the time. They don't see and catch everything all the time, and then they think it's open shut because they just want to catch the bad guy. So again, losing focus, getting absorbed with something else, and kind of just...
And on the baseline, it's incentives. Like, what are you incentivizing? Is the nature of our policing an incentive system around numbers? Are cops told that they need to detain and arrest a certain amount of people for a certain crime every quarter? Because that's not a good incentive for...
Or is it true justice? They're actually going and finding people who are actually breaking laws and doing the right thing. It might, again, you see all those videos. You see videos that are for and against the same argument. You can find them all day long, and we can just keep... talking. It would be so exhausting because no one really wants real change for whatever reason.
Yeah, it is.
I fear change.
Yeah, we do fear change. Well, I guess that's the problem here is that if we don't,
shout out Wayne's World.
If we don't address, like, if it doesn't come to a head at some point, if we don't have to face these hard ethical questions as society, what will happen is
civil war,
bad things. There'll be more harm onto humans and people. Right. If you'll have weak leaders who will, more people will get killed by bad actors if you don't step up to have the courage to say, hey, as a good actor, we need to take out these bad actors. Mm-hmm. Like, I do think that there's an argument to be made there.
There is. Like, I know, absolutely. Because remember, talking about history, think of Civil War. They were at a point in that timeline where things in society were so bad because of how things were going, slavery and everything else in the world, and after the Depression and everything. So it's, so it's like I said, all those things are going on for the Civil War, right? Like, it comes to a head, and then what happens? Civil War breaks out because there's no other way politically at that time that they could talk through to make peace and make changes without someone wanting to kill somebody else. And then it just...
And beyond the slavery part, which we all know is the big, huge core part of the Civil War, it's misaligned incentives. You've got people with financial and otherwise interests that are misaligned, and now they're going to go kill 10% of all Americans or whatever it is. What percentage of Americans died in the Civil War?
Big numbers.
Yeah, big numbers. Like, because of misaligned incentives, like, how can we not try to, and it's like the stuff with BlackRock now. Like, I've been advocating for some time. Like, I think BlackRock has this wrong. I think State Street has this wrong. I think if they carve out the hope in young men to such a hollow shell that they don't participate, then they're not good tax slaves for you, BlackRock and State Street. So you need them to have some type of aspirational hope at a base level. Otherwise, you're going to 2% of the U.S. population die in this.
That's a lot.
Because of misaligned incentives.
That's still a lot. Yeah, because 0.5% or like 1% of the U.S. population's enlisted into the military in all branches.
Yeah, thank you. For people that are done with stats, 1 in 50 Americans alive at the time died as a direct result of the war.
Which is crazy, yeah. Which is nuts.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And think of every major war we've been in. You know what I mean?
What is it good for? War. It's a racket, folks.
It is. The war machine. That's why Ozzy wrote that song, man, War Pigs. Because it's a machine. It's a money-making
So what do you think about, this is an interesting question to ask someone like you, what do you think about these people like Palmer Luckey of like Anduril? Like, people that made a bunch of money because they understand XYZ technology. They built a product that sold for whatever to State Street, whatever. And now they are building military tech, and their life's mission is about safety, but safety means people die because of the tech they develop.
I mean, like, it's all in the way they word that, right? You can't really get upset at anyone because that's what America's about. It's like, you have an idea, you want to sell someone your idea. So it's not bad that you have this really awesome idea that you know is going to sell, right? It's, well, what are the intentions behind, just like anything, like committing crime? What were your intentions behind whatever it is you were doing? And now you're, like I said, you're selling out to government entities who want it because they know they can use it for purposes for when or if and when we get attacked. Like I said, it isn't a bad idea. It's not bad to want to defend ourselves because you never know, because you really can't control people no matter what you tell them. People are going to be crazy. There's going to be so unpredictable that, how do you really stop someone from doing anything? Again, individual person, right? Their own decisions to make. So, like I said, yeah, it's bad because, like I said, it is pointless. Wars really are pointless, like, unless we really are saving and helping people, which, again, from what I've saw and being overseas, like, it is mostly the case, like, what we're trying to do. Like, we try to build schools in Afghanistan so they can have more education, because when they're in such rural parts of the country where they don't really have anything, like, they need stuff that's like that in place, but you're controlled by people who are led religiously by what they think is proper and who their God is and everything. And it's a very respectful, this is your elder, respect your elders kind of thing. And you always do what you say. You got to follow what, the Quran says. Otherwise, it's, this is what'll happen. So it's easy to manipulate, to control populations of people who don't have any education, can't think for themselves, and they follow that kind of guidance. Like I said, isn't bad, right? It's not bad to listen to your elders because they have life experience. They can teach you things, hopefully in the right way, so you can learn, and so on and so on. So you can make it through life without everything being so difficult. But like I said, you can't rely on people because of that whole same thing. So it's like, what can you do? What else can we try? Everyone's just trying to make it in the rat race.
Next time someone tells me that the U.S. isn't a global hegemonic power, remind me to tell them that Putin rode in the beast with the president this week privately for several minutes. You know, what do you think? That's pretty fucking crazy.
What do you think NATO is? What do you think NATO is and who is? It's already a whole world organization. Everyone's all on the same sheet of music. It's just we still have it a lot better here, which is great because in China it's a whole crazy thing that's actually happening. The whole face recognition. Everywhere you go,
we're headed there, bro.
If you commit a crime, they already got you, and they can know where you go everywhere in that city. Like they have that social credit score system in place. Like it's
I'd be down for that, though. I'd be down for getting these criminals.
I mean, it's like I said, it would be nice to be able to catch every criminal who's actually
gum being $5. Let me be honest, folks.
Yeah, that's a whole separate issue.
We lost. God damn it, Riley! Now it happens.
The government's listening.
Yeah, that's why we got too hot with it. Too hot to trot.
You know, that happens overseas when you're on the phone with your loved ones because you're making like a call on a call card and they are listening to your conversation. So if you say any like hot button words when you're over there and you're talking to them about what's happening, they'll cut your conversation.
Really?
Yeah, you talk about dates and when you're coming home, everything, dude. Just to be safe because everyone can tap in and listen at any time because everyone still has the means to do it, right? So they just want to make sure everyone's being safe because they cut it off. It's wild.
And Americans are being surveilled like that too, right?
Oh, yeah, dude, all the time. After 9/11, you guys remember the U.S. Patriot Act?
The Patriot Act? That sounds like only a good thing. With a name like that, that can only be good for us.
No. And it's what's cool is what I've been seeing on a lot lately. I don't know. Again, I don't know if they're AI videos, but a lot of old videos from 2001 when the 9/11 attacks happened. A lot of old videos are resurfacing about interviews and what people saw that day and how people were talking about the collapse and everything. I mean... It's pretty wild. I like it. I think it's great. And it's especially good because shout out for me, I'm doing a plug. September 10th, I'm going to be on the Fort's Funniest.
Fuck yeah.
In Fort Collins. And I've always wanted to be on a show there, so I'm glad that I get to be on it for at least just this first round. And I'm thinking, I'm like, what kind of jokes can I do? Should I do 9/11? Is it hacky to do 9/11 jokes right before 9/11? Is every comic that's going to be there that night going to do 9/11 jokes? I don't want to do that, but I'm a war vet, so it kind of makes sense. But it's like, do I want to make that play?
As long as you talk about how beautiful the poppy was that you were guarding over there.
Right. And see,
folks, if you're wondering, if you're looking into why those buildings fell and you're like, what the heck? That was probably just some radical terrorism. I don't know. Those poppy field videos are a little questionable.
That's the only patch of green you ever see in Afghanistan is poppy fields, man.
Okay, bro. Is that not a little, I mean...
It's not. It's not stereotypical. It's the truth.
Well, but isn't that kind of crazy that... history again.
Yeah,
so,
I love history.
That happens, 9/11 happens, we go over there, and then after this, we have this huge problem, especially in rural communities in the United States, of opioid abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And how does that happen? Oh, the doctors, this upper rung of society, starts over-prescribing because they're told to do so by who? The pharmaceutical companies that pay them bonuses for prescribing the things. So now we've got soldiers paid by the taxes guarding poppy fields that are indirectly owned by, big pharma, kind of indirectly by big pharma. Then that big pharma ownership, again, protected by taxpayer Americans overseas, is now coming back to our country and hurting Americans here. Usually the ones disproportionately, vulnerable to be affected by something like this.
Yeah. But again, it's all everything.
But only 2% of the U.S. population died in the Civil War.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's a crazy world we live in, isn't it?
Yeah, dude, it's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah. Like I said, that's why I love getting to know how things work. Like, that's kind of why I also love psychology. And so I love how things kind of work. I love being in the know, just so I can I love being a part of it. Yeah. If I can be a part of it, like I said, helping out, man. Yeah. If I can be a part of it, dude. Yeah. Let me be a part of it. I love helping.
Yeah. I don't understand the whole, like you said earlier, like how can someone be on, like, buy in hook, line, and sinker to this or that, or the government being, it's like, dude, ever since I've been alive, they've been, anything I look at since I've been alive, it's been like, okay,
it's a MK Ultra, like it's the Operation Mockingbird.
Yeah, it's what they televise on TV. It's predictive programming, exactly.
It is. But like I said, again, if you're just you're into it like everybody else is, like, yeah, you're going to buy into it.
You know what I'm into? Those 9/11 documentaries right after that happened with the Fray. Lots of Fray.
Yeah.
on those, dramatized. I'm in a cubicle burning. Help me.
Have you guys ever noticed
how to save a life?
I feel like our society's.
Yeah. Was that just me that watched this?
You're not alone.
I was like 6, but I wanted to go fucking.
Yeah, they're real good on how they can kind of get you to feel a certain type of way.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Remember, our taxes paid for them to get that good at that.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, since 1913.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Pretty wild. My goodness, dude. Well, I don't want us to get too in the weeds here. Thanks for coming on my silly little show. Where can the people check you out, follow you?
Yeah, you guys.
I think they should be out by the 10th, I hope.
Yeah, I'm not worried. Yeah, guys, check me out on Instagram. I'm the THEE Most Ginger Ninja on Instagram. Also check out the I Guess So podcast on YouTube. I guest spot on that one a lot. It's ran by one of my buddies who's trying to support local comedy as well, because he has a rotating Sunday a showcase at his barbershop too, 84th and Pecos. It's pretty dope. It's like a buckets pool showcase, but he has booked comics for an opener and a feature and a headliner most of the time for a show, and in between those spots.
Who is that?
Chris Hernandez, shout out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, runs the California Beauties and Barbershop on 84th and Pecos, runs the I Guess So podcast.
Okay.
He's been doing the showcase show for a little while now. But like I say, yeah, man, people just don't like to show up and show out sometimes for comedy shows. But it's a rotating Sunday, so it's kind of hard, I guess, being on Sunday because most people work Mondays. But it's been killer. It's a fun-ass show. Anthony Crawford's the host of the I Guess So showcase. But like I said, in between comics performing on the showcase, right, like a normal paid show, they have 3 bucket pool spots in between. And after like 3 or 4 rounds, like if you're the funniest out of your round, you can make it to that final round. And if you're funny, then you get to open the following show, you know, for the next one. So it's a sweet ass concept. I don't think anyone else is doing here in Denver, for the scene.
I've been seeing that. It's a really cool concept.
And he's so cool. He's so much into comedy, man, like doing his podcast a lot, especially like Big Mike and
Chris Hernandez, right?
Yeah, Chris Hernandez.
Hernandez, come on the show. Come on, Intolerable.
Yeah, man, I'll give him all your stuff, man. Okay. I'll hit him up. He's the guy who cuts all my hair. That's why I look so fresh all the time.
Hell yeah, dude.
But yeah. That show. So yeah, I'm just here to promote local comedy. Those are going to be all my plugs. Find me. Oh, light went out.
Oh, get it back up. Press it one more time. That one's going.
Oh, it is? Oh, it went out on the front.
It's gone.
I looked at, the red light went out on the front.
Is the red light still flashing? No. You liar.
We flashing.
Oh, it just went out on the front. Does that matter?
It was flashing back here.
Whatever, bro. My tech sucks. I'm sorry. My studio's terrible.
I'm not even worried. But yeah, support all your local comedy, man. Support the Intolerable podcast. Anywhere you can know or see local comedians, man. A lot of funny stuff is happening around town with a lot of different people. So you never know who your favorite comic's going to be around town. You don't know they're famous until you get to see, who they are, because there's a lot of funny people, man. It's a great scene.
There's a lot of people waiting in the wings here.
Really, truly.
I put us up there with I think we could compete in New York if you take like a random sample of up and coming open micers in Denver versus LA versus New York. Like, I think we could compete. I mean, we would probably easily say that, but we have no idea who's going up on open mics in LA or New York, as it stands.
Pussies, bro. I would love for us to be more. Fun. We need to be more on the map,
it's a fun concept, right?
Yeah, we need to have more people come through, so we got to be a little bit more on the map.
Joe Rogan, how do you like this? Here, listen up. The Hunger Games of comedy. You randomly take open micers from cities across the United States. They represent their region, and they go through type of contest at the mothership.
I would love that.
There you go.
It's almost like Last Comic Standing, but it's going to be a little bit more exciting. It's like
a better, newer Last Comic Standing.
I like that. Yeah.
Free game here on the Intolerable podcast. If you want some paid for game and you want to support the show, head over to patreon.com/intolerable. Got some eating with our man here. Got lots of bonus content. $2 a month. You're going to have access to anything we ever put out. You're helping lay that foundation for what will be a great supportive base that allows us to keep the show ad-free for all of you.
Woo!
Go follow Nakata. Go support the Denver Improv. Yeah. Go support Comedy Works. Go love each other. Give hugs. Be kind out there. And most importantly, fuck off and be well.